Our insecurities are based on not being able to fully accept who we are and where we are in our lives. One way insecurities are formed is through comparison. For example, let's say there is something about you that makes you feel like a failure. Maybe it's because you don't look like a movie star. Maybe it's because you're not popular. Or maybe it's because you're not as far along in life as you would have hoped for. Whatever it is that makes you feel insecure, you try to cope with this feeling. You cope by eating cookies. You eat cookies by the dozen, and one day, a friend playfully calls you the Cookie Monster. You laugh and brush it off because it's really no big deal. After all, there's worse habits you could be indulging in. Then one day, you come across this guy who looks down on you. He never eats cookies. In fact, he never eats sweets. There's nothing Snood Snoodington would do for a Klondike bar because eating that is beneath him. Now you feel like even more of a failure because you feel you should be disciplined enough to never eat dessert like this guy. The stress of feeling like a big failure and feeling rejected causes you to eat even more cookies. Eating more cookies stresses you out even more, and then you eat even more cookies to cope with that added stress. It's a vicious cycle that never ends. Fast forward a couple years, and you've become a real-life Cookie Monster. What was once a playful joke from a friend years ago has become your new identity. Because this is your new identity, you believe it's impossible to change. After all, psychologist Dr. Joyce Brothers has adequately said, you cannot consistently perform in a manner that is inconsistent with how you see yourself. Over time, we all go back to acting like the person we see in the mirror. You've now lost all hope and have accepted that you'll be an insecure failure the rest of your life who eats cookies to cope with the stress of not being good enough. This sad story all started with comparison. The downward spiral started when you felt insecure because you didn't feel you measured up with someone in some way. What I've learned from Rick Warren, author of The Purpose-Driven Life, is that whenever we compare ourselves to someone farther along than us, we'll become discouraged and may give up on making progress. While at the same time, if we compare ourselves to someone further behind than us, we risk becoming complacent and lose our drive to keep moving forward. Both types of comparison are destructive and can stop us from becoming the people we're destined to be, which down the line leads to insecurities and low self-esteem. The starting point to deal with your insecurity and low self-esteem is to change how you compare yourself to others. People are in our lives for a reason, and that reason is not to do a side-by-side comparison to discourage us or lead us to becoming complacent. You have no true comparison anyway. I wonder if the Cookie Monster transformed his thinking when it came to comparison, if he would have looked more like this instead. I guess we'll never know. It's not too late to change how you think when it comes to comparing yourself to others. Yes, you have weaknesses, but we all do in different forms. Some are better at hiding them, but they still have them. But remember, you also have strengths. These strengths could be lying dormant inside you, but you have the rest of your life to discover and develop them. If you're looking for ways to discover and develop those strengths, consider subscribing to this channel today. My videos are about transforming your thinking for the better so that you can get the most out of your life. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.